What's something you did during sex that was so stupid you still facepalm about it today?
I had sex with a deaf chick and I was moaning really loud, but she couldn't hear it, so I gave her a thumbs up for half of it. It became an inside joke.
This is kinda sweet though lol.
As a hearing-impaired person I genuinely love this.
Hilariously I find this very wholesome XD.
Oh
my god. I initially read this as I had sex with a deaf chicken, and was confused as to why it had so many upvotes and or comments.
You should have made text bubbles on cue cards with things you wanted to say during sex, then flashed them to her as necessary. Things like car pow, bang, smash, wham. You could even dress as Batman to make it more real.
Serious, I've never thought about this. But how is one supposed to communicate pleasure during sex with a deaf partner?
That's super cute though.
One girl I was with in high school was on top, and I had to fart real bad. I wasn't sure what to do, so I just tried to hold it in. She started to get more into it and picked up the pace, which caused a series of tiny rhythmic farts every time she came down. It sounded like a machine gun. She stopped and asked if I farted and I blamed the squeaky bed. She knew.
I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard at something on Reddit.
Lol, this happened to me once. I was with a girl in her dorm and her roommates were home too. My girl left to do something for a few minutes, and I definitely had some gas built up, but didn't want her roommates to hear me fart. Who would fucking care anyway? Anyway, my girl came back to the room and we got it on as horny young people do. Eventually the pressure from the humps and bangs made me fart and I quickly assumed responsibility, saying that was me.
I can see the skepticism in her eyes when you told her it was the bed. Bed squeaks and farts are on the opposite side of sound spectrum. She probably did the could you fucking not face.
In college my girlfriend was riding me in my dark bedroom summer night. She was vigorously gyrating that I could feel her sweat dripping on me. Afterward we kissed and cuddled. When we turned on the light we discovered she had a bloody nose and her blood was all over my neck and chest.
May I ask what happened to make her nose bleed? Or was she one of those that nose bleed easily?
That happened to me once, except that I was going down on her and I had bled everywhere.
This was a bit of a misunderstanding, but when my boyfriend and I first got together, I was going to give him a blowjob, so I took the gum out of my mouth and I thought I put it in the trash bin. I did not. After we finished I went to the bathroom and saw gum all over my hair. I guess it was still on my hand when I put my hair up with a hair tie. So I said, "Man, this takes me back to my childhood," referring to the gum stuck in my hair. When I walked back into his room, his face had changed from happy bliss to complete concern. After a pause he finally says he was so sorry and that we didn't have to do that again. He hadn't seen the gum in my hair. He thought I was talking about a childhood filled with blowjobs. Once we figured out the mix-up, he was still a bit shaken by my childhood.
I haven't been fucked like that since grade school. Marla. Fight Club.
Geez, that sounds awkward. At least you know he cared though.
I don't think I've ever read something that's so sad and so funny at the same time.
Haha, poor guy. That's the most intense post-nut clarity he will ever have.
I'm glad he cared though.
I had one lady who decided to tell me she's been giving blowjobs since she was 12, so, yeah, it kinda changes things in the retrospective.
I asked my boyfriend to talk dirty to me. In the middle of sex he starts saying in my ear, fuck you, fuck you. I let it happen and afterwards burst out laughing, telling him to never do that again.
Fuck you, fuck me yourself, you coward.
I'm gonna fuck your fucking fanny off, you twat. It sounds like he unloaded years worth of unexpressed arguments on you.
During drunken sex and I'm riding him like my life depends on it. Neither of us were verbal during sex, except when drunk. He had already climaxed and was urging me to come, which was getting harder for me as he was getting softer. Then he said, "Come on babe, fuck my soft noodle nouille mal" in French. I lost it. I never went from nearly there to never orgasming ever again in such a short span of time. I rolled off him laughing so hard, I nearly peed myself and had to run to the bathroom. Poor guy was thoroughly confused. I don't think he ever really noticed what he was saying in the heat of the moment.
Reminds me of this.
My husband was trying to talk dirty to me and finished a sentence calling me a silly goose. Sex was postponed for a good 15 minutes while I laughed my ass off.
Calling me a silly goose. I'm gonna make you honk so hard.
You like that, you silly goose? You silly goose.